Hey all, welcome to FMA discussion. This is episode 229, and tonight we have Guro Katie on, and we're going to be talking about
Hello.
her journey, everything. With me also will be helping is co-host, co-moderator Brian Rodriguez, also known as the weapon maker
Hi.
from a past life. Just, but no, I want to thank you both for coming on. Katie, thank you for doing this. We're always trying to get.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're always trying to get more and more females on. So yeah, thank you. And again, if you know any that want to come on,
I'll send you a list. I'm compiling now.
No, please do. It's starting the upcoming months are looking pretty scary. So, but we're going to jump right into it, folks. So we got a demo coming up. If you are watching, tell us where you're watching from. Smash that like button, and we're just getting started. And so I got a bunch of questions for you, Brian. By any time you want to add, just please let me know, Brian, and obviously we'll definitely get your input absolutely in there. So you Taekwondo background, just like mine. I went from Taekwondo and I jumped into a Jeet school in Anasano Blend, and my world just was turned upside down. Matter of fact, it was around a couple of years after first UFC, and it was a rude awakening in many respects. But so you coming from Taekwondo, what made you get into FMA? How did that occur?
I kind of feel like I always would have done FMA if I knew about it. But I started Taekwondo when I was, I just didn't know it existed. So I started when I was 9 in Taekwondo. And it was just something that I really enjoyed. I always liked doing. I ended up teaching a little bit, and then I stopped for a while and went to college and had kids and all of that stuff. And then my daughter wanted to start Taekwondo. So when she was, let me see, in, 2015, we started Taekwondo again. It was me and both of my daughters. And we got back into it. And then I met Johan Apollo in 2017.
Okay, there's a echo. I'm just wondering if you're too close to your speaker. Brian, you hear me, or is it just me?
No, I can't hear any echo. It's fine over here. Probably just you.
Okay. If it's just me,
update that software.
Just wondering, folks, if you're hearing echo, let me know. But it could just be me. But it's all right. So you jump back in with your daughter, 2015, and then where it goes? What happens?
Yeah, I tend to get really obsessed with the sports that I'm in. So I kind of dove into it and started competing as an adult. And that was just, and then I met Johan Apollo, and they can hear the echo. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What do I do?
You might be, like, how close are you to your laptop?
The same as I was yesterday, and it was fine.
Yeah. Huh. It can't be anything that serious.
Should I exit out and join back in?
I don't think you have to, because I'm not hearing as much now.
Okay. Maybe it will just resolve.
We'll find out. If worse, we can try that, but I don't know. It's got to be something maybe in your settings or something. I mean, we could certainly try that, but all right. So how did you meet Johan Apollo? Was he affiliated with the school?
Yeah, he actually ended up running the school for a few years, or for almost 9 months, I think. The school that I was at here in Leesburg.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow.
And I actually ended up working with him at that time. I was looking to do a little more, and I was always at the Taekwondo school, so I was helping out, and we just ended up working together a lot and took all of his classes and every seminar that he did. So I kind of just love it.
Yeah. So when he came into school to kind of take it over, did he immediately introduce his program in there?
He came as a special guest about a month or two before he arrived at the school, and so he introduced Kali then to the kids and to the adults. And then we did Taekwondo still at the school, and then there was a separate class for Kali.
So there's supplemental. So you basically supplemental the Taekwondo curriculum with the FMA and all that. Okay. No, all right. And so what did you think about? So I mean, you obviously having significant years in Taekwondo, coming which is construed as a traditional martial art, and here you're being introduced to FMA. Like, what were your initial thoughts on the exposure?
Well, he's a very engaging teacher, so I mean, it was just so much fun. He was laughing all the time. He'd take a knife and he'd be like, "It's okay if I'm laughing. I have the knife." And I'm like, "Oh, this is my art. I'm allowed to laugh and have a knife and be tough." I'm like, "Yeah, that's for me."
Yeah, he seems easygoing, that's for sure. Matter of fact, we got him. I think he's here now.
Yeah, he's watching him.
Yeah, we got a bunch of folks already jumping in. Let me just see here.
A lot of IKali people here.
Yeah, we got Mike Morris, Apollo, Richard Smith from Maine. We got Chris Maris, Andres, hey Tom, and Brother Tom, Israel. All right, yeah, folks, if you're watching, tell us where you're watching from and smash that like button. So, all right, so then he seems, I could see him being, how you would see he's very engaged, and just for having him on the show, definitely I could see how he would captivate a crowd when he's speaking and all that. Very personable and charismatic. But just from the actual lens of the physical stuff that you're exposed to, and I'm assuming stick first or whatever, like, what you think of the weapon training versus your, and I'm not sure in Taekwondo, like for instance, my days in Taekwondo, it was the tonfas. I can't remember the staff. I think we did some
staff.
Yes,
I did bow staff. I was working on the bow staff then, and I really enjoyed forms. I know I'm kind of one of those maybe rare people right now who likes forms. But I did bow staff. I enjoyed that a lot. But I guess the fact that this was partner-based, I really enjoyed. And you can kind of see the practicality immediately. I really enjoyed that. I also did Krav Maga for a little bit in that time frame. He helped me get certified in Krav Maga, and so I liked the self-defense kind of aspect of that. And then once I got introduced to Kali, it was like, that's it, that's mine. I really like Kali.
That's a good point. I remember, like, because I went from Taekwondo to, like I mentioned before, and what really resonated with me was the practicality. Like I wasn't doing forms like you mentioned. Like it was like, hey, okay, all right, we're doing stick now. Remember, stick, sticks, bone. I mean, it just was the verbiage, just the expression, the approach was just so dramatically different from coming from a traditional martial art, and all that. So I mean, it sounds like when you were exposed to it, you took the ball and just ran with it. Like you were hooked. I mean,
that's kind of the way I work. Well, I mean, it happened to me earlier with running as well. When my kids were young, they wouldn't take naps at the same time, so I started running. Before that, I hated running, and then all of a sudden, I'm like running marathons. So I kind of just like go with it.
All right, that's good though. So when you jump into something, you give it your all. I mean,
exactly.
So I have a question for you, Guro Katie. I want to go way back before. What was your first reason why you went to any kind of martial arts, and why did you pick Taekwondo, not karate, and not other people go the karate route? I was kind of curious, like what got you interested in martial arts? Was it fitness? Was it defense? Or
so I was 9, and I actually did ballet. So my mom didn't like the way that the ballet instructor was body image kind of thing. She was smoking during class. The girls were very skinny, and it's not something that I was aware of at the time. My mom saw it. So my brother and my dad were in Taekwondo at the time, and they were already heavy. And my mom's just like, here you go, you're in Taekwondo. And I mean, it's such a difference. It was ballet to Taekwondo, and I was like, all right, that sounds great. And them. So I was super proud because I'm like the little girl, and then suddenly I'm beating my brother and my dad in Taekwondo. And so I guess I'm a little competitive. but that was really cool for me to be able to, surpass them and pat myself.
Hey, Katie, I might have you come back in. The echo's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a connection. It's her connection. Because your camera.
When you did the test on yesterday, were you in the same spot or a different spot?
I was in the same spot. I can move though.
Yeah.
Let me go out and then I'll come back in.
Okay.
Definitely something going on there. All right, folks. Hopefully she comes back. There won't be an echo. It was definitely pretty bad though.
Might be the connection because she's in the basement. So, and right now a lot of people are online right now where she's at. So it's probably
something going on there. Yeah, because the test run was perfect yesterday. I mean, there was no feedback. All right, here we go. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's got the blue screen, which is definitely a connection.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Oh, it's working? Oh, it's not.
Still, we might just have to live with it.
You're in the basement, right?
I am, but I could go upstairs.
Might be worth if you don't mind. Might be worth.
All right, let me try. Let's see. Can I hide myself while I walk? Well, I guess not. All right. Have to walk back down for a demo maybe, but here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll be farther away. That might be okay actually when you're farther away. It might not. The echo might not be as bad for the demo. Right, everybody no issues. Everybody's being actually very patient. So.
Technical difficulties. Sorry, guys.
We're so used to them. You don't have to apologize. Believe me, it comes with the territory. Is a high dose of tech problems. Yeah.
Oh, it's dark in here. 1 second.
All right, now you're an echo. So I think. Okay.
Better?
It's just I don't hear any echo over here.
Okay, good.
All right, yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
Welcome to my dining room.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, for the demo, you go back down there, but it might be okay with the demo because you could be farther removed, so it might not be an issue actually.
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thanks.
No, that's fine. Hopefully it'll work now.
You gonna put her in the middle?
You don't like being in the middle?
No, we're gonna move her to the middle.
It's okay. All right, no echo now. All right, good. Thank you. Good. Somebody just mentioned no echo, so good. All right. So
Ask Katie tough questions.
Yeah, but connection much better. All right, that the move was worth it. Good.
All right, awesome.
So then, all right. So you're kind of sharing your initial thoughts. Obviously, the big compare and contrast to.
She went off. She went off again.
You gotta have a sense of humor, huh?
I don't know what's happening.
We've been through it all. Believe me. So what I was gonna say is, just as far as compare and contrast, before we did the switch, you were kind of alluding to how different it was from your Taekwondo days, and here you are doing, weapons, and obviously there's being emphasis on intent. The whole verbiage is different. It's not really form-like. I mean, you're learning about the body parts, what the target, and all that. Was it overwhelming for you in the beginning, or did you love it so much you just took it all in?
No, actually, the way Tuhana Paulo teaches is really progressive. So you kind of build upon what you know already. And so the verbiage was pretty easy. I mean, we're thinking temple and knee, and you think very basic, and then you understand there's more things as you go. So it all builds. Now we have my dogs. Sorry. I was trying to hide from that.
We're easy here, so no worries. Yeah, right. Temple, hand, kneecap, and you're thinking, obviously stick translation, seeking bone. Then I'm sure when you got the edge weapon, obviously the more the body came into play and all that. It's like I tell my people who don't understand FMA, it's like you get a very good understanding of the anatomy.
You do, and the way the body works. I really like that. I think maybe my artistic background is the body was in geometry. He called that geometry, and I really like that way of thinking because I was in the design field, so my mind is very visual. So, and then Tuhan Apollo was an engineer, so the way we kind of think about things is very similar. So the way we can interact with Kali it makes a lot of sense.
No wonder why his program's so structured and organized. His engineering background. I mean, that makes
right. It helps.
that makes complete sense. I mean, geez, wow. So what? Okay, so at the time, did you know it was PTK, or I mean, is this or at that time it didn't really matter? I mean,
I didn't know anything about Filipino martial arts at all. He was my only introduction. I never saw it. I never heard it. I didn't know there were different types. So he was really my intro, and from there, it actually took me a while to realize there were other parts of Filipino martial arts, just because I was learning one, and it was really cool. So I was learning it in depth, and I was lucky because I was learning directly from Tuhan Apollo, and then I was able to go to seminars, and I would help him teach there. So that learn to teach to learn, really kind of allowed me to learn in a different way.
Yeah, what a godsend. Like, he comes to your school and you got there's nothing going to get lost in translation as far as the information coming down. I mean, like, you're getting it right from the source.
I know, it kind of killed me that other people didn't understand that. I was like, do you know what we have here?
I know. Some people don't.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah. You're getting the source. I mean, how could anything get misconstrued or anything like that?
Exactly. And I could ask all the questions I want. He's really great about questions. So, and I'm kind of annoying about questions too. I'm like, I want to know why I'm doing this.
No, that's a good student. Yeah, I always ask, are you kidding me? Your journey. Yeah.
We have a question, Guro. We have a question from Chris Ramirez.
How does it benefit vertically challenged females?
From Chris. Yes, it's really awesome for short people. So I mean, it was one of those things that I realized that being able to move out of the way was really great, because I don't want to get hit with a weapon. So kind of one of those things with Taekwondo sparring. One of the strategies was like, hey, I'll take the hit and then I'll
on the
go
shoulder, I'll roll my shoulder, right?
Exactly. It won't be a point. I'll take it. I can handle it. I can go in. But with a weapon, like, you don't want to do that. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And so being a smaller person, and I could be faster because I'm smaller as well. So I thought that was really helpful and useful. It's a good art for short people.
Yeah, no. I mean, right. If you look at, generally speaking, the heights over there. I mean, generally, not all, but generally speaking, shorter stature.
Yeah, I went to the Philippines and I wrote a list of my dates because I'm so bad at dates. But 2019, in February of 2019, I went to the Philippines and I'm like, short people, yes.
Yeah, I fit in. Wow. What So, all right. So then, tell us about the system. I mean, I know in the beginning you're just trying to, experience what's being thrown at you. It's new. It seems like though you're taking it all in and transitioning well with it. For the folks who might not understand IKali, I mean, I got a little understanding by having Tuhan Apollo on here and all that. But what can you tell the folks just, about the system in general?
Well, it's a progressive system, so I kind of like to think of it like a layer cake. So level 1, you kind of learn a lot of foundation. And then so everything is basic, you're learning in a specific way. with specific words too, so that you could teach things immediately. Like as soon as you learn something, you're able to teach it to the next person. And I think that's really helpful because that reinforces learning in a different way.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, it's great for the kids. It's great for the adults. I know some people just like being quiet all the time, but repeating words consistently and the same words, so that if I went to Florida or New Jersey, we'd have all the same words.
Be consistent. I got
so
you.
It would be the same. So suddenly we'd be able to communicate effortlessly without having to think too much or process. So I think that's really nice. So first we learned double stick and blade, and the little kids don't learn blade yet. So double stick and blade, and then we do single stick and blade, and then empty hand and blade, and then we have flow and application where we put everything together. And so everything is kind of built upon, so you never forget what you learned previously. And that creates a really, really great foundation. And then level 2, you begin to learn the counters to everything. So everything you learned in level 1 stays, but then you learn how to counter everything in level 2. So the basics just get repeated. So
they get reinforced. I got you.
And I'm a big advocate for repetition. I know some people don't like repeating things, but for me, that makes things, I guess they'll learn to forget. You just do it so much that you don't even have to think about it anymore.
No, great. Brian, you got anything you wanted to ask or add?
We have a question from Mike Morris. He says, what was your takeaway after training in the Philippines?
That I wish I could do it all the time. It was very immersive. So we were planning on going a trip to do the sparring. But the whole group couldn't do that. So instead of that, we took our group and we traveled through the Philippines. And of course, we were training the whole time because that's why we were there. So we, and as I say, you said yesterday, Brian, that you wanted to know about the obsession, like you're obsessed with IKali. And I am. And basically, I'd be training the entire day. We'd have dinner and I'd be like, wait, come here. I need to practice this more. It's not right yet. So it was really like a full day of training for the whole, I don't even know how long we were there, over a week. But we went to Batangas where Tuhan Apollo and Tuhan Bobby were born, and the butterfly knife and all of that stuff. And we visited different areas. The main part of the trip that was really cool was the Palawan Island, where we'd take a trip, or we'd go on a boat and go to an island and train, and then they'd make us lunch, and then we go to another island and train, and another island and train.
Wow.
It was just so cool.
What experience.
The other question I had was, I know I see a lot of your videos, a lot of stick, and you have a lot of knife and blade. Is your system, or you have like a lot of experience doing sparring, like knife sparring or stick sparring, or is that something you like to do, or?
I do. We learn progressively as well for that. So we start with like not hitting the person, but learning how to move out of the way. So just being able to move. This was something that Tuan Apollo was really good at in Taekwondo as well. He'd just move like an inch and be out of the way, whereas most people would pop back a lot and waste energy. So he'd just like move and go back in. And so that's kind of what we learned at the very beginning, is just moving out of the way, but with very little effort. And then we learned to hit and not get hit. So with the padded stick. So even the kids adore sparring. So
they're hitting each other.
It's so cool because they're like, oh, there's a reason for what they're doing. They're learning their footwork, and you can say like, oh, you can kind of make things very hard for them, like only use open triangle footwork and only use entry 4, which is temple, hip, knee, and then figure out what you can do. So you have to be creative in that very small thing to work with, basically, and you can. It's really, really fun. And I actually did some with the kids with, we had hankies on our arms and on our feet so that they'd have to grab the person's handkerchief and squat down and get the handkerchief and try to find the different places and not have their handkerchiefs taken away. So there's a lot of different almost games that you could play that build a lot of attributes before it's kind of more intense sparring.
Sounds good. Well,
So, yeah.
We got another question, and then we can get back. What is your take on beginners and advanced FMA practitioners training together versus separately?
Oh, like separate classes. Okay, now this is a really good thing. I have all of my adults in the same class, so beginners to advanced, because you can, the way the curriculum is structured, you can have a beginner working on something and you can change it up for a more advanced student, maybe just like only your right hand or only your left hand or something like that. But the way it works in your mind is like, oh gosh, suddenly I have to really slow down and learn this again, because suddenly I can only use my right hand, or suddenly I can only use my left hand. How do I figure this out? So it kind of brings that kind of critical thinking to it as well. Like you have to learn how to process to do things like that. Or I could have someone with basic like high Sinawali, and a more advanced person might be learning reverse grip. So it's this, they can work together, but they're doing different levels of things.
Gotcha. All right, no. Let me see here. All right, so tell us about Tuan Apollo. What makes his teaching, him as a person? I mean, what makes him just so who he is, I guess.
So who he is. That's a hard one. We just became friends right away. So I think just our personalities clicked, and the way he talked about IKali made sense to me. So just friendship and learning.
Have you got to train with his brother, Tuan Bobby?
I have, yes. Bobby's really great.
How would you compare the systems? I know he has like his own system, right?
Well, they're actually very interesting because they learned obviously from the same person, but they learned different pieces. So it's kind of like if you put both of the pieces together, you learn more about it. So they don't actually teach in the same way, which I like. I like that about Kali in general, is that everyone can move differently. Everyone kind of works on their specialties, things that were taught differently to them, but it's correct. It's just different. And so I think that's important to kind of learn what you can from each person. And
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, especially in this system, like I just had a test run before you with Archie Lewis, guy, and we were talking about like the more people you can get exposed to under that system, the better off you could be as far as your journey. I mean,
exactly. Sometimes people explain things a little differently and it resonates with you, or maybe it's just the right time in your learning. I know we always talk about 10,000 reps. So when you get to 10,000 reps, you don't need to think so hard about the thing you are doing. But then at another 10,000 reps, you start maybe looking around you and starting to see different openings. Yeah. And so, and this was a thing that was very arbitrary to me when I first started. I'm like, okay, I understand I need to rep things out. But now I understand now that I've repeated things so many times, and maybe I got faster, but then by teaching, I had to get slower again because the person I was with wasn't as fast. Which is one of my things, is I want to go so fast. So, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
I don't remember what I was saying. I have a lot to say.
No, you were going on about like you like to go fast and all that.
Oh, yeah, and being forced to go slow by teaching it is a way that really helps you learn in a different way, because you're like, okay, well, I can't go fast. I think I know it, but now I have to learn it in a different way.
Yeah, you bring yourself back for the student.
And then you have to refine things and make them cleaner or more precise. And that's a whole process. And I know now, after doing all those reps, that I can see so many more things than I ever could have before. Like things that are just natural to me now because of the repetitions would have been so beyond what I could even process.
Okay, no, good answer. So, and then we got before we get to Jack's question, what do you, as far as, I guess, what made you, did he see like your ability, like a natural teacher in you? I mean, or did you something that just kind of came about as far as you teaching it sooner than later? I mean, or
it might have just been because we were working together already in Taekwondo that it was a natural way. I'm not sure, but I think he also encourages everyone to teach because through sharing the art, I mean, this was one of the words that I really hung on to when I was first learning is sharing. I really like the idea of like, I learned something and then I'm allowed to go share it. And through that sharing, we're sharing FMA to more people than would originally know.
And plus, like you said, I think it helps with the better understanding. The moment that you're relaying it to somebody else, I really think that compounds and further develops the understanding and all that. At least for me.
Absolutely. I think that's just for everybody. I don't see how they couldn't learn more by teaching it.
Agreed. Brian, did you have anything?
No, we're going to address
you forgot your question.
No, I'm just waiting for him to finish. Mike Morris and Tuan Jack will have questions.
Mike, we can get to his question when we get to the school, so we don't bump all over the place. But yeah, we can take on Tuan Jack's question now. What is the single most important thing that you have learned studying IKali Bikini Turja? Single most important thing.
That's so hard.
I know, you got to pick one thing.
I guess, I mean, maybe, sure. I'm going to go with this one. Is that the things that I can do with the stick, I can do with empty hand, I can do with blade.
Translation.
We repeat the same movement in the different weapons. So with that one muscle memory, I know I can respond.
Awesome.
So, and I guess reacting, I don't want to react, I want to respond. I want to know where I'm going with it before.
So
I guess.
I have a bonus round question. Out of the 3 different types of training, empty hand, knife, and stick, which one is your favorite?
What's my favorite? Okay, so my favorite is blade, but I must say since the pandemic and COVID, I really hated Karenza before. I really hated it.
Same here.
It was so awkward.
I'm not going to say anything.
Which is funny because I adore it now, but stick was not as natural to me as blade. Immediately, I know a lot of women say this as well. Like as soon as I had the blade in my hand, I'm like, oh, this is comfortable. Like this is me.
I've seen your videos; look very comfortable.
So blade is my favorite, but I must say the sticks have become more
growing on you
because of the Karenza, because my body now knows what to do with those things.
Not to we're definitely going to cover, not to jump ahead, but kudos to Tuan Jack. Like when he asked me to do it, I was a mess. Like I had to record like it just was a mess. But finally, I gave him like pieces where I gave him enough for him to kind of package something together, which he did incredibly well with, by the way.
Oh yeah, he definitely makes everyone look their best.
Yeah, I mean, he did incredibly well. But I'm just telling you, like, I can't tell you how many times I had to like reshoot something, and like sticks are going flying across the room. I mean, but the end result is I am so glad I did it because it really, in so many ways, I haven't really conveyed to a lot of people, helped me so much to come out of my shell and do something like that, so
exactly.
Big shout out to Tuan Jack for that,
Yeah, it was actually really good timing because the New Year's right before that, I decided I'm going to post free flows. Like this is something I'm going to do now. It's something I'm not comfortable with, and it's something that I need to put out there because if I just rely on myself, I'm not going to do it. It has to be out there in the world in order for me to feel like I could get past that. So like I was already recording myself before Tuan Jack started that. So it was like, good timing because I'm like, I already decided this was my thing for the year.
Yeah, good on you.
To get past it, but
I wasn't there yet.
No, and it was funny because I know if Tuhan Apollo is watching right now, it was really painful to watch and to do for me. The Karenza, like
it was a chore. It was like it was like a workload for me. And now I do it every day now.
I know now
But a big
like
thanks to him. But
it's a whole different thing now. So, but my body has figured it out.
I just learned to what it did for me was just to like, don't think about it so much. Just relax, and just don't try to think about it and like compartmentalize like things to do. Just let things come out. And when I finally surrendered to that, I did find a noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff that was coming out as opposed to weapons being thrown across the room. And
I still do that every once in a while.
Yeah. And everybody thinks, oh, he's so well mannered and calm and all that. Yeah.
As the stick was flying.
come around and check. I'll tell you, man. So, Brian, anything that you want to add?
Well, I think that was a great answer what you said about the blade. It seems like a lot of women, from the videos I've seen, like and the forum, they prefer like the bolo and the knife. I haven't done any Karenza videos, so I probably never will. So I can't share in your guys' joy, your guys'
just put it out there. Just do it.
No, I'll never do it. Keep that stuff private. But yeah, I just see like a lot of women prefer the knife more than stick. And a lot of the videos I've seen like on the internet and YouTube and like even the FMA discussion. I had another question. I think you're probably going to ask this, Guro Dean. I don't know if I'm going to jump forward or not too much. This is about this self-defense aspect.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
The self-defense aspect. The women's self-defense. Is that something you want to ask?
Talking around already. So let her rip.
Okay. So this is a question I think Guro Dean's asked a lot of the female guests we've had on here. But what is your stance on like FMA for like women's self-defense compared to other martial arts? And what do you think that women's self-defense, in your opinion, should be weaponized or should just be empty-hand?
I like Kali because it can be weaponized or it can be empty hand. So in that way, you can have both at the same time. The same exact movements can be both. So I like that aspect of it. And I like the fact that I train with a knife because, and we train with metal knives. It's not just, before we used to, when we did Krav, we did
the rubber
polymer, but they were round. They were round blades. And I really disliked them because they didn't have the feel or the look of a knife. So it wasn't, you didn't get that first shock of like, oh, that's shiny and it's coming towards me. Like that sudden, like in the peripheral. Yeah, it wasn't there, and the feel of it wasn't cold. Like using a metal knife for training, I feel like it's important because then you start getting desensitized to it. And not desensitized that you're not aware of it. You just desensitized that it's not going to like put you in a shock sense. It's not going to make you stop. You're going to be able to continue going. So I guess I like weapons for that.
There's a visual aspect of it, like you're saying.
And I mean, the knife can be very, very fast. So you don't always get to see it. But once you train with it enough, you feel very comfortable with it. So kind of when someone asks me like, what if a guy has a knife and they're coming at me? And I guess this is something I liked about Tuhan Apollo too. He's like, that's yours. So for me, when I see somebody else, I'm like, thank you for bringing me a knife. Like that's mine now. I'm going to take that and I'm going to be fine. So it's like a offensive frame of mind already. So we always talk about offense, counter offense, re-counter offense. So defense is the other person's problem. And I really like that. I think that's a really important thing for a woman in particular to just feel comfortable. Like I'm going for it. Like there's no defense. I see something, I'm going to do something. I will respond. So
do you teach any women's self-defense at your school or?
I do, and it always morphs into my regular Kali program. I feel like most people don't, especially when they're looking for self-defense, they don't realize Kali exists or FMA or,
It's true.
They just don't, they know, hey, my daughter is going to college soon and I want her to be safe. So, what
Do
should
you
I do?
do you find that somebody off the street, like a woman, when first introduced to like an edged weapon, like a knife, or some other kind of weapon, do you feel there's like a lot of hesitation, like at first, like they kind of scared of it, like they don't want nothing to do with it, or they gradually, like in increments, they gradually go in, once they've been training it, they were shown how to do it, shown how to use the tool properly. Do you see them ease into it, or do you see them kind of like, just kind of like still have that fear factor, like, oh, I don't want to have to drive this into somebody, or what do
Well,
you?
I mean, that comes with training as well. So if we're talking about like a 2-hour seminar or like a multi-day seminar, or if they're actually training. So it's funny because it's diverse. There's some women who they touch the knife and they're like, whoa, yeah, this I can get behind. And then there's other people who are like, I mean, you think about eyes, like going to the eyes, and they're like, oh, I could never eye gouge. Like, what are you talking about? They're bad. Like, this is not a just normal person you're eye gouging. Like that's a bad guy coming at you to do bad things. And I guess as a woman as well, like I'm not worried about someone stealing my wallet or getting in a bar fight. Like those are not things that I'm worried about. I'm not gonna get in a bar fight. You can have my money. But I'm thinking more about, sexual
Self-preservation for yourself.
And no, I don't. I want to be able to fight back for anything. So like I really have to talk to some women about like you have to think about this. This is a bad person with bad intentions, and an eye gouge is totally acceptable. Dirty fighting is acceptable. So some people are totally fine with knives. Some people, the more they train with it, the easier it is. And I have some people who normal knife stuff is okay, but then if I teach them like a neck break or something like that, they're like, oh, that's too far.
Yeah.
So I have one lady in particular that was like, boop, boop, boop. And like saying a different word that was kind of silly, kind of, made it not so scary. She knew what she was doing. And she wanted to be able to do that. But in order for her to feel comfortable with it, she had to kind of make it like a game. And I think that's okay because you're learning where targets are. You're learning different things that she just never would have learned otherwise without something that made it more friendly. But also I think some women are just easier to understand from me because I'm happy, I'm laughing, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm enjoying it. So it's not just like I want you to fear for your life all the time. Like I want you to learn this art because it's beautiful. Not only is it beautiful, it preserves your brain. You're doing all of these cross body motions.
Right.
You're learning muscle patterns. You're getting fit. There are so many other things that are really wonderful about it. But also one of the things that is great is the ability to create destruction in a very elegant way. like I'm gonna suddenly break your knuckles. I'm gonna break your elbow. I'm gonna dislocate your shoulder. Like that motion was beautiful. However, it's also very destructive. And I think that is, people warm up to that idea. They're okay with that, but consistent training is important.
Yeah. So what I think what Brian also is, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. Obviously, with the question I normally ask, I put it in two different lenses. One, a female who actively trains, such as yourself, do you think should be weapon based, or the average layman, who doesn't take classes, maybe goes to a 2-hour seminar, is learning into knee and elbow, which she's not generally going to practice or remember, but she went because she thought it was a good thing. Do you think in that context, women's self-defense should be weaponized?
I guess I don't love that context. I do teach that, and it's more as like a way to get people into a more consistent thing. But yeah, I think people can hurt themselves, definitely, with anything. They can hurt themselves with pepper spray. They can hurt themselves with a knife. So I don't know. There's a lot of ways it could go. I really, my goal is to get people to train. And
yeah, no. The goal is that
yeah.
you bring them in and you can kind of go through a baseline and all that with them and all that. But some people, and I know what you're meaning, and that definitely is the goal and the hopeful goal. But you just get some who don't want to commit like that.
There are, and for those people, I really like focusing on vulnerability of targets.
Mm-hmm.
Because they may not remember how to knee. They'll understand the concept of a knee, but how to generate the most power. Like, is their back leg back? Are they going to thrust their hips forward? Are they going to pull the person down into it? Like, they may not remember all of those pieces because that takes repetition.
Yeah, 100%.
I do want them to know about the things that can hurt more, and like go for the eyes, push up.
No, vital targets.
Yeah. Up on the chin, all the neck, the carotid artery, the nape of the neck, the knockout points, your jaw, your temple, going down the solar plexus, like and the throat. That one gets me all the time. I dislike that one greatly. Third hand principle in IKali too. If you go right there, like solar plexus, those that some can't be strong, how big they are. But then part of what I like about IKali is moving out of the way and being able to grab their hands and do locks and things like that. And I think that's not a basic thing. That's a more complex thing.
Yeah, that takes time, skill, absolutely. Where the average person, I mean, there's like you just mentioned. I appreciate that you explained how the reason to learn the art and the distance person wants to get along the self-defense is different from everyone. And there's definitely not one size fits all approach. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I do think every person should learn the basics. I mean, hammer fit.
Yeah, I think it's important for women in general. Absolutely.
Everyone should know that kind of stuff. But my hope is that they would realize that is very just the top layer. Very top layer.
Just like entry level stuff, but hopefully that they would want to take it upon themselves to
learn more from any martial art, really, whatever they enjoy or whatever if something's nearby. Like I think that there are a lot of good things out there.
Yeah, no, true, right. They take it upon themselves to be proactive in it. That's the hopeful. Anything for you, Brian, on that?
No, I think she answered that great. I mean, it's right. There's no one size fits all approach.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Another question I had was, how is FMA how's it changed your life? How do you utilize it outside of training, like in your everyday life? Like, what kind of stuff do you take from that? Like, as far as like discipline stuff, like attention to detail. I mean, what kind of stuff do you utilize with FMA, like your everyday life? Just not training, just like walking down the street. Like, is there anything you take from any of that? Like dealing with people, interactions with people, stuff like that?
Well, I train a lot. So the majority of my day is probably training or teaching or doing something. So, I mean, it's kind of, maybe my day is not typical. But yeah, I think
I love to have your day. So you don't see any enrich your life, like as far as like dealing with people, unruly people, or just general stuff like with your life, like.
Yeah, I mean, just so many things. I think there's a lot of critical thinking in IKali. I think that there's a lot of muscle movements that help build connection on your brain. So I think that's important to me as I get older, and I guess it's just it's so deeply enveloped in me right now that it's hard to separate it from anything else. I guess I teach my children about it. They learn, and then they also carry it on in their life. And so I think I was very disciplined prior to learning about FMA. I always like training. I always like learning. So I think learning is one of those things I think is really important, and to learn about lots of different things. So, and applying the same way of learning, I think that learning how to learn well is important, and applying that to almost everything that you do. And so right now I'm learning about horseback riding. So my family, since COVID, has we've all gotten into horseback riding, and a lot of the same things. I listen to podcasts, I listen to all these different things, and the same things pop up that I also do in teaching kids, that I also do in teaching adults. Like a lot of just general learning is very similar, no matter what kind of subject you're learning about. And I mean, that could be applied to so many different martial arts as well.
That's good. The other question I had for you was, I was trying to think of it. We got lost into that thing right now. How many people come to you for, I know people come for the self-defense aspect, want to learn art, but I know you said your gym's a fitness gym as well, like to get in shape and in other words, how much do you emphasize like fitness in your guys' system? There's a warm-up routines, there's like calisthenics, there's a cardio, there's weightlifting, there's a weight training, running. Is there like a lot of fitness like in your system that's emphasized, or is it just kind of like goes hand in hand with training?
It depends on the school. So you're able to kind of do whatever you want fitness-wise. But I like working it into IKali, because if I'm going to get repetitions, then I want it to be in the fitness as well. And in order to fight, you kind of have to be fit. So for me, it is really important. It does tend to extend class time. So there's so much to learn that I want to get the fitness, and I want to get the all the education that there is on everything. There's so much to learn. But I generally try to work it in with IKali movements. So the footwork that we do, sit-ups. I like doing sit-ups with like parry, salute, and then parry, salute, because then people aren't thinking about their abs anymore. It's they don't like doing sit-ups already. I happen to be weird. I really like sit-ups. But if they're thinking, oh, I have to parry and then I have to salute, okay, now I have to do it on my other side, parry, salute. And they're sitting up this whole time, going up and down. And so I like being able to incorporate everything that I can in a way that would benefit those repetitions. So like doing entry 4, temple, hip, knee, and then like a plank, and then back up and do it again. So things that might make the movements different, different level of work, but the same kinds of movements.
Yeah. I think for me, like I teach a couple people I don't have as many people as you do, but we teach like the cardio, stretching, light weight training. I do a lot of weight training myself, but I don't do like a lot of heavy weight, but still, because I want to get like the power. But I still emphasize like you gotta be in some kind of reasonable shape, You
Exactly.
You can't be like 400 pounds and come in there and expect to spar for 20-30 minutes, But it goes hand in hand. I believe the training goes hand in hand with the FMA. Like you're going to lose the weight, obviously, to hit the tire with the sticks and moving around.
I love that. But see, I love doing the things that kind of disguise the work aspect.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking about something else, but I like wearing myself out. I like being exhausted and feeling like I did something. I mean, I ran marathons. Like, I used to complain to my husband. I'm like, I didn't do anything today. Like, why is my body sore? And he's like, you ran 10 miles. I'm like, oh, but it was only 10 miles. Like, I'm like, okay, I realize this now. This was like a little crazy. But
that's like training.
But I like being sore at the end of the day because I feel like I did something. My kids now with horseback riding, they're getting a lot of core from it because the horse is moving and they have to stay stable and balanced, and it's hard. And they're like, oh, my legs are sore, I can't get back on. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can. Like that's what's going to make you stronger, is that when you're sore and then you go do it again, like that's how you build it up. You can't just recover completely and it's like starting all over. So I try.
How about you, Guro? What do you think?
What's that?
What do you think about the whole fitness thing as well?
Yeah, I think depending on what your goals are, and like if you're pursuing, you want to be active, and especially if you spar with your guys, you've got to be in shape. I mean, because otherwise, you're the model. You're trying to emulate this, and if you're not in shape or condition yourself, that's going to be a tough package to sell to your students. If they can't look up to you because you know what I mean, and see what you're doing to model you. So I absolutely think it has to be incorporated and all that. In my opinion, yeah, 100%.
I do everything with my students as well, so they can't ever complain that I wouldn't do it because I'm like I'm right here doing it as well.
You have to. You have to. How can you? Well, here's the thing. Look at it from a more simplistic way. How can you expect them to do something if they're not even seeing you do it?
Exactly. Which I really liked the way when I first met Tuhan Apollo. That was something I really enjoyed. Like he was repping things out with us.
Yeah.
We'd learn something super basic, and he's right there with us repping things out. And I thought that was important, and it's something I understand. It's something I resonate with.
Yeah. And obviously, because look at what it did for you. I mean, you saw like his work ethic, so naturally, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if he came in and you looked at him like, oh, man, this guy's work. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's not going to give you incentive or ambition to like really grow.
Exactly. I know he would do everything as well, and therefore, you know, I have no excuses.
Yeah. Good. You know, we were talking on the test run, you alluded to something, and I know you do some of his artwork for him, which I think he showed some of it when we had him on interview, and it was outstanding.
The school design. Yeah. When we went to the Philippines, it was interesting. It was really cool because he'd take me around to different restaurants and things. We'd all be going to different places, and he'd kind of take me aside and be like, this is something that's really traditionally Filipino. And I'm fascinated by the cultural aspect of it. And I think
whatever he showed was,
he's done really well with incorporating the culture with the art. And that's something I feel with FMA is kind of like you have to have both of them. Which is kind of interesting because in Taekwondo, I never really felt that need.
That's funny you mentioned that. Like, you know, it's funny. I was thinking back, and you hit on something here really important. Like, I don't remember ever getting any historical perspective, cultural perspective in Taekwondo.
No. We learned how to count to 10, and
I didn't get that.
Pretty much it. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Like, I never
flags on the wall.
Like I don't remember
there were flags on the wall, but it's like it never even occurred to me.
No, I don't remember learning anything about like Korean culture or like mannerisms or anything. Yeah. So I think where I do see that in FMA, where like, because I think it's a much tighter bound structure because in most Taekwondo schools, I'm not saying all of them, you know, you go in there, okay, 50 kids spread out, 100, whatever.
Well, especially now. Yeah.
You know, whereas FMA, it's more that generally speaking, not all, but more that individual, you know, relationship. So I think you get that extra, you know, aspect of of culture.
Yeah, history, and it was actually something I was a little self-conscious about when I first started my school because I'm like, who am I? I'm just this person who loves it, but I'm not Filipino. And is that okay? Like that's something that I was like, okay, I have to.
Brian,
and not only that, most people are looking for. I'm not trying to bring up anything, but it was a mental, and it was
Filipino inside, but you're something else outside.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to set you guys up because
no. It just struck a chord. That's all.
I should have thought about that first. I know.
No. It's nothing on you. Nothing on you.
It's the fact that like sometimes not being a man and teaching like okay, what's this little girl doing here? People always think I'm younger than I am. They're like, why is she teaching this? And that was something that I kind of had to be like, okay, yeah, I'm okay doing this. This is something that because I'm celebrating the culture, it's something I feel like it's really really important to have intertwined.
Jack.
Dean's not Filipino. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, public announcement. He is non-Filipino running an FMA talk show. Again, he is non-Filipino.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No.
I spent 2 years in Korea. I was stationed there. I was on Air Base, and the Korean Taekwondo schools are way smaller. And the uniforms are different, and they teach you. They serve like tea when you first start. I never been in one. I was at one. So they're way different than the American schools.
Non-personal, I guess. I can't think of a better way to put it. That non-personal. I think it's a Western thing with things monetarily big schools. I'm sure over there they give their students the whole historical, cultural aspects and all that, But the West, leave it to the West, man. They can and will ruin anything now.
No.
I got on a segue. I'm going to go back to the original question, and we can pretend.
Yeah. So here it goes. Yeah, absolutely.
But
so
what's
that?
When I was in the Philippines, he'd take me and say like, oh, this is like the look that I'm interested in, like the Bahe Kubo, where the walls are made out of woven things. So, which is very similar to like our concept of Sinawali, like this is weaving, and the walls of the building were woven. And then he'd show me like a piece of artwork that was very traditional, that something his family would have had. Or like we just went around and be like, oh, like that's an interesting ceiling. What they did there was really cool. So we kind of like just saw what was appealing about the different ways that culture was brought out in things and the way something looks. And that was something that I wanted to bring back to the school and have it feel as Filipino, as something special, something that wasn't just what everything else was.
Did you ever go to Baguio?
Great. So,
you ever get a chance to go to Baguio and Taguig? Up in the mountains, they have real. When I went there, they have like real like tribal stuff there, like carvings and stuff like that. That like it reminds me when I seen the pictures of the school, like a lot of stuff I seen when I was over there. Like the tribal, like the mask, the shields, the flooring. I think he did a great job capturing like the tribal, like cultural aspect of like the Philippines, like bring it there so the atmosphere is there when you train. So it doesn't feel like a sheetrock, around all four corners.
It feels a little more special, like there's just a little more care into what you want to show.
I did a great job of that. I liked it.
Yeah. So getting back to your background in design and all that, how is that? I mean, obviously we know it enhanced as far as you helping Tuan Apollo with the core and the school and all that, but has that benefited you in any other aspects of your training? It could be as a student or a teacher, as far as your training in your, I guess, tutelage and design.
Right. So the type of design I did was industrial design or product design. And so everything that I designed, I had to build as well. So I worked in the wood shop. I worked in the metal shop. We had a plastic shop. I didn't work in there as frequently. But it was nice because you get a more holistic approach. Like if you're just designing something on paper and you don't have the feel of the material or the way the material actually looks or weighs, it can be vastly different than once it is made. And it just doesn't work the way you expect it to work. So I think that was something interesting. And another thing that we learned was that the process was important. The journey was important. And so I know you guys are talking about the journey, and that's always been something that like the end product is never the goal. It's the journey. The journey is the goal. And as far as like my artwork and my design work, I never feel like it's finished. And I think there's a reason for that. Like, I feel like it is a process. And FMA, I think it's neat because I could see myself learning this forever. Like, I don't see an end in actually learning something new as time goes by, or processing something that I learned previously in a different way. So, and I did a lot of recordings with Tuhan Apollo, and I thought it was interesting because after every video, he's like, okay, what did you learn in that video? So not only was I training with him as a student originally, but I also went to train with seminars. So I also saw how he presented material maybe differently at a seminar than he did. So I got different versions of how to explain something. Okay. So, which was very educational for me. I mean, I went all over the place and saw I mean, a same basic seminar, but it could be every time I would learn some piece that was new. And I think that's really good. And he always strives for, even when it was just the two of us, like, what did you learn that was new in that 5 minutes that I just spoke? And usually there was something. But even in that process, I saw him have like epiphanies. He was like, oh, like I could see it in his eyes. Like not everyone would be able to see it, but since we're so familiar with each other, like when he noticed something that was different than how he had previously viewed it, like I could tell that. And I think that's cool that someone who's a Tuhan can still be learning. And like it never has to stop.
No.
And you can see your artistic side come out in a lot of your stuff too. So I see that.
Guro Katie could design the FMA discussion shirt, you know. Hint, hint.
That's Jack. I don't know. He has a pretty good sweatshirt going out now.
Yeah. Jason Ward is currently working on. He's actually Jason Ward's a guy at Canada is working on a couple things, but one of the things he's doing, he's pretty good with the design, far better than me. But he's trying to come up with something for a shirt. But I told him to wait after January. There's just too much stuff going on now. They even attempt to try to push that now with the raffle and everything else. He's just adding one more thing that's just not gonna, you know. But well, we got here. Tuhan Paul as a way of teaching. It's great to see a non-Filipino. We gotta get. You know what we gotta do? We gotta get rid of that whole terminology, non-Filipino. We just got to.
Honorary. They've told me I'm honorary before, so you know.
Non-Filipino is called a Joe, right?
Jason Ward is actually going to learn level 1, material 1 of IKali soon. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jason Ward's going to keep adding and adding to his arsenal. I'm ready. If you're ready.
Ready for demos?
Segue into the demo.
Let me see if I can get the.
Wait, let me get my drum set. Here's the drum roll.
The drum set. All right.
We have to come up with something.
Yeah, I've ate balut several times. Don't like it. But.
All right. Let me see if our connection will.
I was forced. I was trying.
Yeah. If you gotta go back down there, no worries. Take your time.
I have my kids on standby.
Okay, actually, but yeah, take your time though. No rush.
Make sure they all stretch out. Get everything all ready.
They're gone right now, so I don't know where they are. Maybe it's just me.
What else could we come up with that would designate us, obviously not being Filipinos, but without using non-Filipino? Is there?
I told you, when you go to the Philippines, they call you. If you're non-Filipino, they call you Joe.
All right, so I know, but
hey, Joe. Hey, Joe.
A what?
You're Joe's.
Eat balut first. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
Why not?
I
gotta do it.
There's several reasons.
Rite of passage. You have to do it at least once.
All right. My kids promised me that they would come and do a Karenza for you guys.
Perfect. Whatever you show us, I'm sure the audience will love. So no worries. Whatever you want to do.
We just don't want to see no kids flipping around. We're a family show.
My gosh.
There we go. So you want to move our screen out, Gurudeen?
Oh, the moment she's ready to go.
They're not down here yet. They're coming.
No. The moment she comes down, I'm lowering ourselves. Yeah, she'll let us know.
Hawaiian shirts.
Bermuda shorts and flip flops.
How about a barong? Some Red Horse and yeah.
So Red Horse is the drink of choice, I guess.
I don't know. I got drunk off it several times.
I never even heard of it. All right, all right, Katie, we're gonna lower ourselves.
There we go. They're ready.
Lower and lower.
All right. So my little helpers are here today. This is Dr. Sophie right here, and she's 10 years old. And then my daughter Audrey, who is 13. And then my honorary daughter, Maeve, who's also 10. So they're going to do a little Karenza for you guys if you guys want your weapons of choice. they enjoy doing it to music. So I'm going to play some for them. And they usually have a little more space. They don't always go together, but, you know, solidarity in numbers right now. So,
Gumagala, gumagmula sa puso. Delightful.
I know, awesome job, you guys. Okay, again.
Gumagala, gumagmula sa puso.
Hitting some walls.
No, no worries. Do you got more, or I can hide myself again?
No, unless anybody wants to see anything in particular, they can be here to help me demo. But
They did. Somebody meant. Oh, Two on Apollo mentioned demo empty hand.
empty hand. Oh, they do like hurting me. Okay.
But I mean, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah,
I get-
absolutely.
okay, I'll lower
like
myself.
to do? Who wants to do the counters to the empty hand?
Yeah, I'm just going to side control. Sure.
All right. So maybe you can put it down.
Okay. Bible, look it.
All right. So counters. They love pulling me down. Want to do on this side?
Sure.
That one. Then we'll do the next one. All right. Next one.
This one.
You can do the same hand. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Good. Next one. You want this hand?
Mhm.
All right. Oh, ouch. All right. Next one. Good. That's it. Nice. Last one. You remember this one?
I hope. Was it this?
I
forgot it.
Well, do you guys remember that one? All right.
Move up the stairs.
Oh, yes. They're no joke. Sweet
We got one more again from Two on Apollo. Empty hand to single blade flow.
Empty hand. Oh, for the kids?
He didn't say. He just mentioned that.
And to single blade flow. Does he mean mean? He might mean me.
I'm gonna guess probably, yeah.
Right. I did ask
I'm
for a
guessing.
request.
All right, I'll hide. I'll lower myself.
Do you want us to go upstairs?
No, you guys are good there. Is that good? I could go forever.
Look good to me. He's okay. For her to demo it, a Karenza flow starting with empty hand to single blade for her.
Yes, this is Chris Ramirez's specialty, I think. I'll go
But
again.
that's his latest request. So demo Karenza flow starting with empty hand, and then transition to single blade.
And again.
They're good to me.
My daughters are clapping for me. They're good cheerleaders.
That's all that counts. No, look good to me. Yeah. No, thank you. Oh, and thank you. You know, your daughters and their friend there. Tell them if they can come up. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys.
You guys did a great job.
Your salutation? Long neck, lots of good stuff. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
It looks like you have to do it again.
Yeah. I think somebody said sweep the leg.
Come on.
We have our handshakes at the end, so
No.
I like
That was good. That was great.
Thank you. That was great.
They're the future, so good hands.
Yeah.
Sing
That's a
features.
whole other, there's another theme episode for me. The future of FMA.
Couple Tuhans and Gurus in that group right there already.
You don't get kids involved.
future.
You know? Okay, so thank you very much. Those were excellent. Thank you. I thought the kids were wonderful.
Fantastic.
With the show.
They love it. Like
you can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
it comes very naturally for kids. I never wanted to teach kids originally. So I wanted to I was the mom of young children, so I kind of wanted adult time. So I always wanted to just teach adults. And since it was like Blade and stuff, I was like, oh, I can just teach adults and it will be fine. Tuanapa was like, no, if you really want to learn it, have to teach kids. And the thing is, they get it. They really understand. They make connections so much faster.
Can you tell us who your trainers are from? Where you got your trainers from?
This trainer I use a lot, and this is from the Philippines. Tuhan Apollo gets them.
And the one the girls were using, the one the girls were using.
Oh, yes, that was from. I don't know where to put it. Oh, here. I actually put it away. The Chris trainer. Are you talking about this one? This one is from Lopez. Yeah. So I ended up getting 2 of these after the Raya and the Last Dragon came out. So it was a shame that couldn't be done in the theaters because I think it would have been so amazing. But it's very inspiring for young girls to have someone to look up to in the movies, and I think that was a great inspiration for them. And they're like, like there's a Chris, that's Kali, she's doing Kali, and I'm like, yeah, she is. So I bought two different sizes, and they actually, let's see. I bought both because I wasn't sure which one I would prefer.
Nice. Yeah.
The girls
he makes some fantastic trainers too, so I want to give a little shout out to you. He's both training.
They're so nice.
We're gonna have on our show next month, right, Gordine?
I believe he is. I believe he's coming in December. Yeah.
Absolutely. So great. I highly recommend his trainers. I use a lot of them. So
yeah, they're great. And he was so nice. He's like, "Is this Guro Katie?" And I'm like, "How do you know me?" So it was really nice to get them from him. So and then of course my trainer from you is always near me. It's my favorite. And the tribunal knives. This was designed by Tuhan Apollo, and Wes Adkins makes them, and he does such a good job. So this is the trainer, and it's actually very sharp. The real knife, it came in a package of the real knife and the trainer, and it fits in the holster, which is nice. So you can practice with the trainer.
Do you mind giving us a demo with that knife? Because I never seen anybody use that knife.
Well, I like it because my hands are very small, and so I feel very secure with it in my hand. And so Pakal grip, and you can kind of flip it around, which may seem kind of reminiscent of the butterfly knife, really.
Yeah.
But you can actually cut somebody even if they're holding your wrist. Yeah, you can't see there, but you can end up cutting them while you have a grip on. So I think that's really, really nice. It fits my hand really well, and of course the pinky with sock grip. It's just a really great size for me. I think it fits every hand though. Tuan Apollo has much larger hands than I do, and his thumb comes higher up, but it fits him also. So I actually carry this in my bag more than the real one. But it's dangerous. It's really sharp. It's as a trainer, it can actually hurt you. So I think they actually doled down for the next generation of trainers so that it won't hurt as much.
We got a radius to tip a little more.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but it could actually be a self-defense tool. And I do have kids. They're bigger now. But when they were little, I wouldn't want to bring in my purse, like my kids could get to everything. Everything is theirs. That is mine. And so the trainers are actually nice because I'd carry these anywhere because I'm weird. And after dinner, I would want to train. So I have to have it so I can train. But
maybe take this pancake to you know.
We got a
question, Guro.
we got a question from
Alvin. Do the parents
of the children you teach have any hesitancy or anxiety over their kids learning blade movements? If so, how would you overcome that?
So it's always optional before 13 if the parents want their kids to learn or not. Quite honestly, the kids get it anyway. They understand the connections between the knife and the blade and the empty hand much quicker than adults do. So in my experience in teaching, I'll show maybe Sinawali with sticks, and in an adult's brain, like it's that is what it is. But as soon as I start doing movements empty hand, but the same movements, the kids are like, oh, that's that thing that you taught me before. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, how do you make that connection already? Whereas an adult will be like, no, I understand you're telling the truth, but I don't quite believe you until it sinks in. And I think that's normal, but the way kids grasp things are really fast. So really, even if they're using a palm stick, which is like a small stick, the kids know what it is. So easing the parents' mind. Since I am a mom, most of the moms that I work with know me. So they understand what I do. And they know that I'm not going to say, I don't disguise things, but at the same time, I don't like sugarcoat them and make them something totally different. I think it's important that the kids learn self-control. I think it's important that they understand to have respect for something and that they can lose respect. They can lose the ability to use it if they can't respect it. Like, don't say it, but my older daughter was banned from Blade for a little bit because she was too excited when she used it. So I just had to, all right, you're going to have to sit down until you are worthy of doing this because it's serious. What you're doing is serious and you have to respect it. And so I really didn't have many issues. Most of the moms were just like, yeah, you can, I'm fine with that. So I do know that some parents do have issues with that. And you can use sticks exactly the same way. However, the kids still know they're using a stick and that it's a sword. Right. And like they do understand. Kids are just very smart. So you can't really hide what you're doing, but you can give them respect for it. And I think that's very important because it is serious. That my kids are rough on me because they know I can handle it. But it's something that with each other, they have to tone it down because, they don't want to hurt their friend. And it's important to be able to learn that point where you're doing something correctly, but not going to a point of pain or damage.
Juwan Jackson
is not
do
good.
Demo. Juwan Jackson do demo with aluminum when I made you.
Oh, I do love it. Do you want one?
It's up to you.
My favorite.
All right, let's lower.
I could go forever. I love free flowing.
Go around the house.
I would. I have before in the past.
Upstairs, downstairs. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
It looks very natural, and you're helping me handle it. That's why I try to make it.
It's so natural, and it feels better than a stick to me. So, which I felt very comfortable with sticks, but now that I have this, I'm like, oh gosh, it's.
I try to make it handle small as, like I said, to taper to small.
I know. I was like, I have tiny hands.
I never met you in person. I don't know how small your hand was, so I kind of eyeball it, and like I use my daughter and stuff to say, hey, because you have a small hand. Because it's like,
yeah, she's
no, you need to turn down more.
Probably bigger than me already.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'1". I have like a presence, I guess, that is a little taller than I actually am. So I'm like, no, I'm actually 5'1". I'm short.
No.
That was great. That was fantastic.
What if there was another FMA system that you would train in? Just if you ever thought about it, what would it be?
Oh, I actually do. We never even got to this. When I actually so when I first started teaching, I worked at like a dance school in the mornings and in a community center in the evenings. And then I rented a space with two other women. One was a masseuse and the other one was a CrossFit teacher. So the three of us shared a space. And when I did that, I met Roel Vera. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He passed away right after last year.
Name sounds familiar.
But he found me almost like the first week I was there. I don't know if it was like Instagram or what, but he wanted to train with me, and then he wanted to teach me Balintawak in exchange. And he is like immensely talented, and like that was just like such a confidence builder for me, that someone who is really great at different styles would want to learn from me and then teach me. And it was
exchange. Okay.
Perfect exchange. And he's just such a great guy. So I've been doing Balintawak since then.
Oh, so you enjoy it? Okay, good.
I do. I did level 1 testing a couple years. It was pre-COVID. So, and then I just did the level 2 testing a couple months ago. So so it's the Flow Strikes group with June and Tom and Roel's son actually was like my main trainer right now.
All right. So is it more under the Tabata sanction? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean that group is so welcoming. It's really a nice group that you can
they all seem
have
very
different
nice
styles, and it's really so. Do Balintawak as well.
Yeah, Tuhan Bobby's been on before.
Yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of everything. That's kind of why YouTube is nice now, and like the Karenza project and things. So you can kind of learn a little bit about different styles, and I think it's really important to have that more holistic version of what FMA is. And there's so many similarities, even in Balintawak, which seems very, very different. Like I know sometimes it's very forward, and it's a lot of punching and a lot of power that's generated differently than PTK, which is a lot of going to the side. The generation of power is really important for me to figure out, but I do have the tendency of quartering and going off to the side, and I'm like, nope, I have to learn this the way it's supposed to be. But then once we get in close and hands are locked, like those places, there are so many similarities between PTK and other styles. And Roel he did other styles as well. So he would kind of give me a general outlook of like, oh, in Serrata, we could do this. In Kombatan, we could do this. In Balintawak, we could do this. You just showed me this in PTK. And they're all coming from the same location and with the same concept. And I really like that idea that so many different styles that seem so very different do have very similar aspects.
Yeah. So if they're outside those two, then let me rephrase the question. Outside of those two, if there was another one that you had time for or an interest from afar, what would it be?
I know Jay Jasper was on here earlier. The way he moves in Karenza
the
are fascinating to me. I think I'd like to learn some of that. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Future goals for yourself and your teaching or within your journey. Future goals.
I don't even know. I've gotten to this point where I kind of had to step back a little bit to, take care of my kids during this kind of very strange time. I was about to get like my full-time place right before COVID happened, and like, thank goodness I don't have to pay rent. So I'm kind of rethinking what my goal is, and I don't really know. I guess that's part of that being flexible and trying my best to learn right now, because I feel like it could go in lots of different directions, and I don't really want to shut off any door. But I don't want to be stuck with rent that could backfire.
Yeah, keep your options open, but you don't be tied down. You got a lease, and you can't even.
No, and it's hard, and I do feel fortunate that I didn't make that step quite yet. I was about to, and it was really hard. We ended up doing so many Zoom classes after that. Like, we didn't know how long.
I know.
It was going to last, and I think it was excellent. I learned a lot, and as far as Zoom can be, I think it was the best it could be. But,
yeah, absolutely. Better than nothing, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely progressed during that time. I kind of, went into my own little world and trained a lot.
I think we all did it some respects. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just hopefully those days will be behind us or soon behind us. But Brian, anything you wanted to finish with, or you have?
Do you plan on becoming a guru and Balloon too, or just kind of?
I'm taking my time because I want to be as perfect as possible. So it's not the art I train every day, but I love it and I want it to be right. So I guess I'm not rushed with it, but I want it to be perfect. So I want to complete the art because I feel like that's a commitment I've already started. And I want it to be as good as it can be, but not necessarily because of rank, but because I want to have that knowledge, and I want it to be, I want to learn how to generate the power and how to be most stable and how to, those are important things that can be applied.
Do you have a website for your school, where people can find you at on besides Facebook or on Facebook, or? Well, she froze. She froze. I'll wait for you to come back in real quick to ask her.
That can't be. That's strange. I know everything was.
It's a question I asked her. Froze the computer.
I'm telling you, man, we were going never a dull moment on technology.
Dude,
don't want to extra out because you might come back in, but if we, it might be worth maybe extra out, have her come back in. Man. Yeah, she's out. All right. Actually, it's probably, yeah. We'll give her a few minutes. What can I talk about? Who's coming up? Oh, tomorrow night. Archie Lou's makeup. He was supposed to somebody that was supposed to come on October, didn't work out, but he's coming out tomorrow night. KI, some training with Ray Galong, interesting guy out of Canada, and he's gonna be on tomorrow night at 7:00 Eastern time. So if you guys are around, check it out. Really interesting background. Did a lot of he started out boxing, Thai boxing, before he went into FMA. So it seems like
raffle.
This guy. What's that?
Raffle.
The raffle. Yep, the raffle. We got the raffle coming up. That's actually, we're gonna be doing the drawing actually 2 weeks from today. Great stuff in there. Grant Frank donated 8 knives.
Yeah.
Very, very generous. And Volps is donating a trainer. You're donating a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Garrett donated a balisong trainer. There's some free lessons from Brandon Ricketts, some other people. I got to double check them. There's a pair of sticks donated from Luella. Some really, really good stuff.
Well, she donated some sticks there. She does some. There's another person we need to get on here.
Yeah, she's coming on next month. Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's coming on this month, actually, December. Yeah, she's the only female. So I don't know if she's coming back in, Brian. I'm gonna check my messages.
Okay.
I'm wondering if she's
Probably a connection.
Gone for the night. If it is, luckily we got just basically to the end. Let me just see if she's.
I also want to thank everybody for watching tonight. It seems like the more females that we get on here, our audience is starting to grow when we get the female practitioners on here. So you want to keep that.
Why?
No. Yeah. So
It is what it is.
yeah, I'm glad everybody's here tonight and watching, and yeah, you guys are awesome for tuning in. I know it's Sunday night and back to the grind tomorrow, Monday, unfortunately, but for most of us. But yeah, we wanted to finish this off this weekend with great interviews. We had Professor Moss yesterday morning, did a great interview, and then Jan Rodell before that. So yeah,
Friday night, Saturday night. This is also, folks. This was purely accidental. This is not something wasn't we intended to do. To have four interviews in a row. I could trust you on that because I'm the one that's downloading all of them.
We have our two
makeups and.
We have our two.
That's how the ball bounces sometimes. Sometimes we gotta put the people in when they come. We don't have the choice of. That's just the way it goes. I mean, believe me, we're not planning 4 in a row by any stretch of the imagination.
Let's give a shout out to our two unsung moderators, Guru Angelo and Martin. They're behind the scenes making it happen as well. So I want to give a shout out to them.
Martin will be doing a couple in January. He's going to be jumping in on with actually with me, a couple of Canada guys, PTK guys, Chris and somebody else. I think Jean Zerger again, and Chris, who's not been on. So that's going to be. Oh, she's back. I'm just going to close out. All right, she's back.
You're
back.
Right, cheers. On a different computer.
Oh, sorry.
Right, no worries. We're at the tail end, so no worries. So we're basically. I'm sorry. I think you were asking something, Brian.
Yeah, I was asking where I knew Miss Susan Alberto said that it's on your page, but do you have a website or any other thing, YouTube channel or anything, or your school or anything you want to advertise, or now's your chance.
LeverageKali.com is my website, but I haven't updated it in a little while.
Yeah.
2 on Apollos is artofblade.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that
are you available for like private Zoom lessons or private classes?
I am, yeah. I'm doing a few Zoom lessons still. Most of my group has gone live again. So we're in my basement and in my backyard right now.
Okay.
But yes, I do Zoom still.
Awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people are doing that, so they might want to have access to you. They don't live next to you or something. They might want to.
Exactly. It's really great for distance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this was great. It was a great interview. I think we touched on everything pretty much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I mean, this was great.
Thank you for having me. It wasn't as scary.
No.
Cookie Man doesn't bite. Guru D is not Cookie Man.
There would be no torture. But yeah, just if you have other definitely please send me if you got other females that you think would come on, please do, because I tell you, I got one for December, 2 for December actually, one solo, one with a husband, but this January is looking.
We have a couple of females. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we have Miss Susan that interview. We have a Guru Chris is on here. Maybe she would want to.
She's coming on in January with her husband.
She's watching. Oh, okay.
So January, but we got one. I'm sorry, one for December, one for January. After
We need
that,
more.
it's pretty
I
scary.
have more names. I'll send them to you.
Yeah, please
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
Please do.
Definitely. We need some for like February, March. We can even throw another one there for January. So after that, it's looking pretty slim. So, but yeah, definitely.
And please tell your girls too. They did an awesome job. I mean,
Thank you.
Excellent all the way around. Excellent interview. Excellent demo. Couldn't ask for any better. So that's all my thoughts.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, though.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. It was really fun.
Oh, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. So what I do is I'm going to download this and I'll post it to your wall from the YouTube. Okay. All right. Well, you take care of yourself, and thank you again for coming on.
Take care of yourself, Guro Katie. We'll be in contact for more trainers if you need them. So.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We got more people coming in. Yeah.
That was a good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. I got to wrap it up, and I'll download it tonight. And then tomorrow, man, I don't want to see another interview till like.
Hey, we start a thing, me and Guru Tom. We're gonna do a virtual high five.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at December now, and I'm like, I gotta wait till somebody just like. I want like a few days off, man. I can't I can't be doing any Zoom.
Don't worry, we're gonna help you out. We're not gonna let you sink in the ship. So.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna help you out. Hopefully people can get tired to see my face here next couple of days, but yeah, we'll help you guys. We'll help you out.
All right, yeah.
All right. Well, have a great day.
Hey, thank you for assisting. It was perfect, and obviously we'll be in touch. So tomorrow night, folks, we just jumped in late. Episode 230 with Guru Archie Luz, Canada, KI. And it did some other stuff before jumping into FMA. So really, really nice guy. I think you guys would enjoy that if you get a chance to check it out. And I think we're good. All right, Brian.
All right.
Thank you as always.
Good night, everybody.
Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And